Well, very good morning to you, Naledi, and of course to our SABC viewers. Well, the stage is set up, the stage is set, and of course, in just not so long ago, we'll see then President Cyril Ramaphosa hosting, like you said, his Finnish counterpart, President Sauli Niinistö of Finland. Of course, he served as president of Finland for, or actually is the 12th president of Finland. I mean, this visit was long overdue, Naledi. It was supposed to take place in 2020, but because of the COVID-19 pandemic, he couldn't come. But I mean, it's been 10 years since he's been on South African shores. The last time he was in the country was in 2013 for the late, for the burial of the late President Nelson Mandela. You did mention there that the purpose of this visit is actually to boost trade and investments between the two countries. You mentioned how the deep ties between the two countries, how they are rooted in, back from the days of apartheid, where Finland actually helped South Africa in the struggle against the draconian system of apartheid, Naledi. And of course, the purpose of this visit, as we said, is to boost trade and investment between the countries, to expand on, the trade and investment between the two countries. It would be interesting to know that over 2 billion was invested by, Finland to South Africa. So this would also translate to, job creation. Naledi, we do expect that both presidents will actually discuss a number of issues. It's also interesting to note that, Finland is now a member of NATO. And of course, our foreign news editor, Sophie Mukwena, will expand on that at around 9:30 and talk about the implications of that. But also there are a lot of discussions about renewable energy. I mean, this is interesting because we know that our country is actually, facing a load shedding crisis. It also comes on the backdrop. This past weekend, we saw the 4-day NEC meeting. Of course, the Minister of Electricity making his presentations there to the NEC on ways to actually end load shedding, including the delaying of the decommissioning of some of these coal-fired power stations nearing the end of life. Other discussions to take place, like you indicated, are issues around ICT, issues around mining and technology, packaging of food, hydrogen construction, and finance. And Finland is quite an important partner to South Africa. I mean, as a developed country, there's so many things that South Africa could actually learn, from Finland. And also, just speaking about Finland, Naledi, for those who don't know, it's quite interesting that just 2 weeks ago we saw, elections take place there in Finland, Naledi. And of course, we know that the Prime Minister, or former Prime Minister, Minister Sanna Marin, who was one of the youngest Prime Ministers in the world, was actually defeated. For our SABC viewers, it's also interesting to know that, Finland is under actually a coalition government. And just seeing what's been happening here in the country, just yesterday we saw the Johannesburg Mayor, Thapelo Amad, resigning there, So, I mean, there's so many notes that South Africa could actually take from Finland. It's also quite interesting to know that, our lawmakers in Parliament will be actually embarking on a tour in those Scandinavian countries, including Finland, to go and investigate and find out how, coalition governments have been working, in countries overseas, so that South Africa could actually possibly take notes, because as pundits have been saying that if they manage to unseat the ANC next year's polls, then it means that South Africa could be, under a coalition government at a national level. So a lot of notes to exchange from the two countries. Of course, like we've seen, a lot of MOUs will be signed between the two countries. We also know that the Finnish President Niinistö, will also be embarking on a tour to Namibia. And it's quite ironic because, remember, last week South Africa had actually hosted the Namibian president. So lots of notes to be exchanged between the two countries. At 9:30, like I did indicate, our foreign news editor Sophie Mukwena will be also giving a comprehensive update. And of course, we will be bringing you the pomp and the ceremony.
Yes.
Later on, there will be a business interaction between the two countries and the presidential roundtable. And of course, as per usual, we will be fielding questions to both presidents of both nations. So I do implore our viewers to stay tuned to SABC News and make SABC News your news channel of choice as we bring you this important state visit. With that said, it's back to you in studio.